Reaching your 70s can be one of the most enriching, fulfilling times of your life. Many people say it's like reaching a mountain peak, where you can finally look back with wisdom and grace at the long road you've traveled. But for many of us, this new chapter often brings a need to make some lifestyle adjustments so we can continue to feel as vibrant as possible. Whether you've heard this from others or felt it for yourself, letting go of certain habits, attitudes, or practices can open up more room for the things that really matter at this age. From my perspective, having had friends, family, and community members talk about their experiences, here are some of the most impactful things people choose to quit after 70. Number 1. The habit of saying yes to everything. It's a well-known fact that as we age, time becomes a precious resource. In your 70s, you've earned the right to be choosier about how you spend it. Many people talk about the peace they've found by becoming more selective with their commitments and saying no more often. This might mean declining events you're not genuinely interested in or even skipping certain family gatherings that feel more draining than fulfilling. For instance, one friend of mine shared that she stopped saying yes to every family dinner because she noticed it would exhaust her for days afterward. She now attends fewer events, but feels much more present and engaged when she does go. By setting these boundaries, you can carve out more time for things you genuinely enjoy and that nourish your spirit. 2. Perfectionism and self-criticism. Perfectionism isn't a trait we often associate with people in their 70s, but it lingers more than you might think. Whether it's about maintaining your home to pristine standards, cooking for others, or how you look, that voice of, "it's not good enough," can still sneak up on us. One woman I knew, a retired teacher, said she always worried her cooking wasn't up to par, even when her guests praised her meals. In her 70s, she finally let go of that worry. She realized that people came for her company, not to critique her culinary skills. She felt a newfound joy in the kitchen, focusing on simple, tasty meals she enjoyed cooking, rather than impressing her guests. This mindset shift often brings a greater sense of self-acceptance and inner peace, a gift worth embracing. 3. The idea that you have to keep busy to be useful. Our culture has a way of equating busyness with productivity. But many people find that after a lifetime of working, caregiving, and keeping up with social obligations, it's incredibly freeing to realize they no longer need to stay busy. Many seniors share that they feel more fulfilled by slowing down and savoring the simple joys of life, watching a sunset, reading a novel, or simply enjoying a cup of coffee without rush. One elderly couple I know decided to sell their large family home and move into a small condo. This allowed them to eliminate hours of yard work, home maintenance, and cleaning. With this extra time, they found themselves enjoying new experiences like leisurely walks, visiting local museums, and reconnecting with friends. Embracing a slower pace can be a radical act of self-love and fulfillment. 4. The urge to hold grudges or harbor resentment. For many people, reaching 70 is a time to reflect on past hurts, betrayals, and grudges that may still weigh heavily. Carrying resentment can be a heavy burden, both emotionally and physically. Many have shared stories about the profound lightness they feel when they finally let go of a grudge they'd held for decades. A neighbor once told me about forgiving an old friend with whom she had a falling out over 20 years ago. She said that letting go of the resentment brought her a new sense of peace, and she felt her sleep improve and her spirits lift. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the hurtful actions. It simply means choosing to unburden yourself from carrying them forward. Letting go of grudges can free up emotional space for more meaningful connections. 5. The pursuit of keeping up with younger generations. With the rapid pace of technology and trends, it can be tempting to try to keep up with every new thing. While learning new skills can be valuable, the constant need to keep up can become exhausting and unnecessary. Many people over 70 find greater happiness in selectively choosing what matters most to them rather than feeling pressured to learn every new app or social media platform. For example, a friend decided she didn't need to learn how to use Instagram just because her grandkids were on it. Instead, she asked them to share photos through a simpler platform they could both enjoy, like an easy-to-use photo sharing app. This allowed her to stay connected without feeling overwhelmed or out of her depth. 6. Excessive worrying about what others think. One of the biggest freedoms people experience after 70 is letting go of the fear of judgment. For many of us, it's been ingrained to seek approval from family, friends, or society at large. But the truth is, once you reach a certain age, you start realizing that other people's opinions don't matter as much as your own happiness and well-being. A gentleman I knew shared a story about how he'd spent most of his life wearing uncomfortable clothes just because they looked sharp. When he turned 70, he decided to prioritize comfort over style. He started wearing clothes he truly enjoyed, like cozy sweaters and comfortable shoes, and he felt happier for it. Many people find a new sense of liberation when they stop worrying about how others perceive them and focus on what makes them feel good. 7. Excessive possessions. Decluttering isn't just about simplifying your physical space. It's also about letting go of emotional baggage tied to material items. Many people in their 70s begin to recognize that their homes are filled with items they no longer need, items that once held sentimental value but now only create clutter. For instance, I've known people who found joy in downsizing and giving away items that they'd kept out of obligation. One friend of mine chose to pass down her collection of family china to her daughter, while she donated other items that no longer served her. She described the experience as a cleansing, a way to create room for what matters most now: space, peace, and memories rather than objects. 8. The desire to plan every detail. Many people realize that while planning is important, obsessively planning every detail can create unnecessary stress and keep us from living in the moment. A close friend shared her story about giving up the need to meticulously plan every holiday, meal, and gathering. Instead, she found joy in being more spontaneous and embracing whatever came her way. In your 70s, letting go of rigid plans can open you up to experiences that are more relaxed and enjoyable. You might find yourself saying yes to a spontaneous weekend visit from a friend or exploring a new activity with an open mind. The beauty of this stage of life is that it allows for more spontaneity, which can lead to wonderful surprises. 9. Need to control every outcome. At this stage, many people find peace in letting go of the urge to control every situation or outcome. Whether it's worrying about a loved one's choices, trying to predict the future, or feeling responsible for how things turn out, these habits can be incredibly draining. One woman I knew told me she finally stopped trying to control how her adult children lived their lives. Instead, she chose to offer gentle advice when asked, then step back and let them make their own decisions. She said it transformed her relationships with them, making her feel more connected, accepted, and able to simply enjoy their company. Learning to relinquish control can make room for a more flexible, joyful mindset. It also fosters a deeper sense of trust in life, which can be incredibly liberating. Embracing the idea that some things are simply beyond our control can bring a newfound sense of calm and perspective. 10. Negative self-talk about physical changes. Aging comes with physical changes, and while it's natural to notice them, constantly critiquing these changes can be exhausting and counterproductive. Many people find that after 70, they are better served by focusing on what their bodies can still do, rather than on the changes that have happened over the years. One gentleman shared that he used to be frustrated by his gray hair and slower movement, but he eventually learned to appreciate these signs of experience. Now he views each grey hair as a symbol of wisdom gained, each wrinkle as evidence of laughter and love. When we treat our bodies with kindness and gratitude, it shifts our focus away from negative thoughts, giving us a more empowering and positive relationship with ourselves. 11. Desire to always be right in conversations. With age often comes the realization that being right isn't nearly as important as being at peace. Engaging in debates and arguments to prove a point or insisting on the correct way to do things can create unnecessary tension in relationships. Many people find that choosing peace over the need to be right allows them to build deeper connections with others, free from the strain of conflict. I remember a friend sharing how she used to argue with her siblings about politics, parenting, and even household decisions. When she turned 70, she decided to stop trying to convince everyone of her point of view. Instead, she focused on understanding their perspectives and building a loving connection. She found this shift brought her closer to her family and made conversations more enjoyable, allowing her to spend time appreciating loved ones rather than debating with them. Giving up the need to be right can lead to a softer, more harmonious atmosphere in relationships, helping you cherish your time together. 12. Comparing yourself to others. Comparison is often said to be the thief of joy, and this holds true even more so as we age. Many people discover after 70 that comparing themselves to others, whether it's health, wealth, accomplishments, or family dynamics, only leads to unnecessary dissatisfaction. A gentleman once shared with me that he spent years feeling disheartened because his friends seemed more active or better off financially. Eventually, he realized that everyone has their own unique journey, with its own joys and challenges. He found far more happiness in focusing on his own blessings and what brought him contentment. Letting go of comparisons allows you to see the beauty in your own path and appreciate your accomplishments, both big and small. It frees you to focus on what genuinely matters to you without the pressure to measure up to anyone else's standards. 13. Rushing through daily activities. By the time you're in your 70s, there's often a shift in perspective that comes from realizing the importance of savoring each day. Many people talk about how they've stopped rushing through meals, chores, or even conversations. Instead, they try to be present, allowing themselves to enjoy the small moments without hurry. A friend of mine began practicing slow mornings, where she would take time to sip her tea, listen to music, and simply enjoy the beginning of each day rather than rushing through her routine. This slower, more intentional approach to daily activities can make even the simplest things feel rich and meaningful. By slowing down, you allow yourself to connect more deeply with life and feel more grounded, creating a sense of calm that can truly enhance your quality of life. 14. Pressure to accumulate more material wealth. After a lifetime of working hard and providing for yourself or others, many people in their 70s feel a strong shift away from material accumulation. The focus often turns toward enjoying life, experiences, and relationships rather than worrying about gathering more possessions or wealth. A friend once shared that he spent his younger years always looking for the next investment opportunity or financial gain. But now he's chosen to focus on spending his resources on meaningful experiences, like taking his grandchildren on special outings or enjoying a simple weekend getaway with his spouse. Letting go of the urge to accumulate more can be incredibly freeing. It helps you live with a sense of contentment, finding joy in what you already have, and recognizing that the most fulfilling things, laughter, love, and connection, can't be bought. 15. Habit of overthinking the future. While planning can be useful, overthinking what lies ahead can lead to unnecessary worry, especially in later years. Many people in their 70s have shared that releasing the habit of constant future tripping has brought them peace. One woman told me that she used to spend hours each night worrying about health outcomes, finances, and family issues, all of which were largely beyond her control. She later made it a practice to focus more on the present moment and let go of the constant concern over what-ifs. Stepping away from overthinking can bring a sense of liberation, helping you enjoy each day as it comes. By focusing more on today, you create a life that feels less cluttered by hypothetical scenarios and more rooted in gratitude, which enhances your sense of peace and joy. Turning 70 can be an incredibly freeing experience if you allow it to be. By letting go of certain habits, mindsets, and routines, you're creating space for more joy, connection, and simplicity in life. Embrace this as a time to do things that make you feel light, purposeful, and genuinely happy. Let go of the old pressures and expectations and welcome the peace that comes with living authentically for yourself. The wisdom you've gathered over the years is a gift. Use it to enrich your life, one beautiful moment at a time. Feel free to share your own thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, kindly give it a like and subscribe to not miss any of our future videos. Take care and thank you for watching.